Take a deep breath, take the higher road. That's what they always say, as if they know the way. They won't take it from me. But don't ever doubt yourself, 'cause life ain't just a dream. You make your own, so kick and scream. The people will act with a never-ending force. You never had the chance, so what you waiting for? The day has come, my friend, 'cause this is war. It's time and this is war.
We are living in a time unlike any other in human history. Our bodies were never designed to withstand the toxic burden we now face on a daily basis. From the moment we wake up, we are surrounded by exposures. Heavy metals in the air we breathe, pesticides and plastics in the food and water we consume, chemicals in our cleaning supplies and personal care products, and invisible endocrine disruptors that infiltrate every system of the body. This isn't alarmism, it's reality. And the truth is, our natural detox pathways, our liver, kidneys, lymphatic system, skin, and gut, were built for a world that no longer exists. We are overburdened, overloaded, and overwhelmed, often without even realizing it. The symptoms we've normalized, fatigue, brain fog, poor sleep, mood swings, weight resistance, chronic inflammation, are often the body waving a white flag, signaling that the toxic load has simply become too much. The answer is not another crash cleanse, extreme fast, or one-time detox kit. The body doesn't need punishment. It needs partnership. What we need is gentle, continual detoxification, a daily rhythm that removes what doesn't belong while nourishing the systems that keep us resilient. When we approach detox this way, consistently, compassionately, we're not just treating symptoms, we're supporting the body's God-given design to repair, restore, and thrive. This is not optional anymore. Detoxification is no longer a luxury. It's a necessity. And when we understand this, we begin to see detox not as an event, but as a lifestyle, a foundation for wellness, clarity, and longevity in a toxic world. You're listening to Nurses Out Loud on America Out Loud Talk Radio. I'm your host, Nurse Kimberly Overton. Before we get started today, I do want to encourage our listeners, if you have questions or comments, or perhaps you want to share your own experiences with what you're seeing on the front lines of healthcare, you can now submit those to us directly by visiting our website at nursesoutloud.com. We would love to hear from you. We encourage all of you to engage in the battle and find your voice in this fight. But until you are able to do that, we will continue to be that voice for you. For today's episode, I am so excited to welcome back one of my favorite wellness warriors. Jill Rosencrance is a mom whose personal journey began when her daughter faced serious health challenges. That experience sparked Jill's deep dive into research, eventually leading her to become a certified holistic health educator and naturopathic provider. She is the co-founder of the Detox Girls, a growing community committed to education, empowerment, and natural health solutions. Through her passion for helping others, Jill also became an ambassador with Root Brands, sharing protocols and resources that have transformed not only her family's health, but also the lives of countless others, myself included. Along the way, Jill has surrounded herself with an incredible network of freedom fighters, providers, and like-minded individuals who inspire and support one another. At her core, she is a connector, helping families find hope, guiding others on their health journeys, and building a movement that shows the power of education, community, and heart. Jill, welcome back.
Thank you so much for having me. And that opening was perfect. You described today's world to a T. Thank you so much for that.
Absolutely. You know, Jill, we just saw each other. We were just together at that incredible event in Franklin, Tennessee for Root Brands. What a beautiful gathering that was. It was electric.
It really was. And I'm so appreciative that you took the time to come because I know how busy everybody is. And sometimes it's a matter of just carving out that time or believing that this is where you're supposed to be. And I'm so grateful that you came.
Oh, absolutely. And I was busy. My schedule was a little crazy. And I just kept saying, well, first of all, I wanted to see you. I mean, I haven't seen you in a while. I consider you a dear friend. So I absolutely wanted to make that time to spend with you. But aside from that, I knew it would be a great opportunity to connect with the Root community, which is something I don't get to do very often.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's the Root community is growing. So, for those that might not be familiar with Root, the Root brands, well, first of all, Kimberly and I met in a tumultuous time at a freedom rally, and I was very new to the Root brands at the time, and I was still in the middle of taking care of my family, still trying to regain their health. I was really new with Root at that time. And I had just left my job, and Kimberly had just left her job on a wing and a prayer.
Yeah.
But that prayer led us to where we are now, and I'm so grateful for it. So, um, for those that are not familiar with the Root brands, Dr. Christina Rahm is the scientific formulator, and it's very difficult to find a company, a wellness company, that is not just another supplement, but a nutraceutical brand, and actually a quantum nutraceutical brand that has a scientific formulator who has such heart and such a passion for helping humanity and is truly a good person and cares so much about what she brings to the table because she started this company. Well, her husband started the company, but she started these formulations for her very own health journey. And that is so often the reason why people come to this place in time. It is my why, it's your why. So whether it's for yourself, for a family member, your job, and your patients, we come from a place of we realize what was going on. We know there can be better. And so for Dr. Ram, she had to do something for her own cancer and her own Lyme. And she started to formulate nutraceuticals for herself, first and foremost, and then her 4 children. And then she brought it to the world.
Yeah, Dr. Ram is absolutely amazing. I have had the pleasure and honor of meeting her several times. She's spoken at our events in the past. And I mean, how often do you find, the scientific formulator of events, hosting these events? Not only that, she opened her home to us, to the
She
Root
did.
community. And I mean, that was just such a beautiful gesture. And she's just a beautiful human. Really, I believe truly that just God has his hands on everything that this woman formulates, everything.
I agree with that. It, I just got chills. I believe that, and she says this all the time, she is just the scientist.
Yes.
These are gifts from God. She's led by God and she follows his guidance to bring these together. So her brain, she has an eidetic memory. She remembers everything she reads, writes, and hears, which is such a gift. And so when she gets these formulations in her dreams from the Lord, it allows her to take her scientific background and formulate something that everybody needs. And so when I say that these are not just another supplement, I mean that with my whole heart. I am the mom who was all over Facebook trying to find the answers for her daughter. My daughter was misdiagnosed. I stand by that. She was misdiagnosed in her early 20s with infertility and COPD. Think about that.
Very young for
Daughter was 20 in her early 20s and told that she couldn't have kids and she had a disease that 90-year-olds have.
yeah.
And it was starting to understand the physiology behind what was going on, the root cause. So every doctor that told me that there was no hope, no cure, nothing we could do, just fueled my fire even more. But then I was in all of these Facebook groups getting more confused, more frustrated, throwing darts at everything. Try this pill, try this magic cure. This is going to be the thing that you need. And it wasn't until we were detoxing my daughter wrong and her symptoms came raging back like no other. And she called me, it was 1 year before her wedding, and she called to tell me she was canceling her wedding because she couldn't even step foot outside of her own home. And 1 year from today, she's due to get married outside, and that just wasn't tangible to her. And I knew right then and there that I had to do something more. I had already been doing all the things, but I had to do something more. There was some answer out there. And so I had this gentleman on social media stalking me, antagonizing me, and I say this with love. He's like a brother now. And he just kept saying, "You're the detox girls, but you're detoxing wrong. Do you want to know better?" And a little ego was in my way.
Sure.
I know what I'm doing. I've researched it. I know the science. Little did I know, I didn't. So I took a leap of faith and I texted him and I said, "Is there any way we could get on a call?" He had offered multiple times before. We get on a call, and lo and behold, he's in the car with his beautiful wife, Dr. Christina Rahm. The Lord blessed me with an hour-long drive with them. And I started to understand how complex the body was. And I was trying to do just one piece. I was trying to detox my daughter. And I forgot that she was, after all this time, was such a weak host. Her terrain was so bad that her immune system, her digestive system, her cognitive function were all at risk. And we needed to strengthen and protect and support her body. And that was the missing piece. I was doing all of the killing off, the heavy metal detoxes, the parasite cleanses, the liver flushes, the gallbladder flushes. And I forgot that we needed to strengthen her body. And it was that gift that I started to understand that it's not one thing. The body is one whole interconnected system. I think you'll appreciate this. I often say, I believe the downfall of the medical system came with the specialist. It wasn't supposed to. It's just what ended up happening. So what was happening was people were going to a specialist for each portion of the body. The intent was to come back to a gatekeeper and have somebody put all the pieces of the puzzle together. And I don't believe that happened. That fell by the wayside. Right. So as we were detoxing, that's where I realized that I was just targeting one piece to the puzzle. And when we got back to the mindset of the body's one whole interconnected system, that's where we started having success in her healing journey. And I don't claim to cure, treat, heal, prevent any illness or disease. But what I will tell you is that when you give the body the right tools, it is an amazing, amazing body.
I absolutely agree with you. And, I had like everybody that knows me or listens to me for any great length of time, that like consistency is not my strong suit with self-care. Mostly because I'm working all the time and I'm doing all the things. So I'm not really good about consistently even taking my supplements, my detox. Well, I was on the Trinity and then I had slacked off of it like I so often do in life. But when I had the event, I was reminded, I'm like, you know what? I need to start taking my Trinity again. And I was reminded specifically with the zero in about what a difference that makes for me, for the
It
brain
really does.
fog, for the clarity, for, the focus, all of it. So, these are products that I've been using. I think it's been 3 years now, right? Almost.
Yes.
Yeah, it's been just about 3 years. And we use the Root Trinity as the foundation of all of our protocols at Remnant, specifically with our first responder wellness programs, because of the fact that it is so important for all of the occupational exposures that our firefighters, our police, and all of those first responder communities are exposed to. It makes such a big difference. And I mean, just what I've seen in those communities alone has been unbelievable.
Yes. And I'm so grateful for our first responders, and you included in that. Nurses are our first responders, even if in the hospital bedside, and we have to support them. The toxins that you're exposed to every day, whether you're a nurse and you're exposed to viruses and bacteria, whether you're a firefighter and you're exposed to breathing in all of those toxins, you're a police officer and your nervous system is just dysregulated at all times. EMS. I mean, all of these wonderful people are putting their lives on the line, and I would love nothing more than to support them in a way to bring them in and support their health every day, support their nervous system, make sure their clarity and their focus is right on track, because we want them to be very focused in.
Oh,
We
yeah.
want We want their gut health to be amazing because imagine the stress and pressure and the the mood issues that would come with that, right? PTSD and just the emotional traumas of what you all see every single day in your jobs. And so if we can support that in every way, I'm here for it. And so I am going to pause it 1 second and just say, I people have a tendency to hear something and they're like, oh, I have to Google this. Oh, I have to see if I can get it on Amazon. And what I will say is that the Root Brands does no marketing. Their marketing is word of mouth. If the products didn't work, the company would be gone by now. And so the product work. And so what they do is they give back to the community. So what I will ask each and every one of you is to either comment or when you are registering a free account, please use the referral code Kimberly. It's so important. Kimberly is working so hard to help everybody, all of the freedom fighters, all of the first responders, and we just want to be sure that we are supporting her. And in turn, because we are a community together, I have layers and layers of support that she can access to so she can connect you to me and we can support your journey because there's nothing more scary than taking something for the first time and taking a guess at what to do. So we take the guesswork out of that. So please just make sure you're connected to Kimberly because I want to support each and every one of you that are listening.
Exactly. Thank you, Jill. And I'll tell you that, that's why we do what we do at Remnant Healthcare is we want to have our nurses guiding people through this detoxification process because people do have many questions about it and we want to make sure that they're supported and helped through that process. So that's something that's truly very important to me. That they do, go through that and have that support that they need. But, people talk about detox like it's a trend, but it's particularly for first responders, really it's survival. It's
It
that
really is.
it's that foundation that changes everything. We're talking about energy, sleep quality, mental focus, all of the things that they need to do their jobs and to do their jobs well. So we do actually at Remnant Healthcare have programs specific to first responders. So I would encourage you all to check that out. And I will drop links in the show notes that will accompany the episode. But again, we use these products as the foundation of our wellness programs, and they've been absolutely amazing. I can't speak enough about the results that we've seen.
And Kimberly, you brought up a really good point. So the list that you gave are the short-term issues,
Right.
but each and every first responder is at risk for long-term illness and disease.
Yeah.
You hear it all of the time, right? Firefighters that die from cancer, police officers that die from heart issues, heart attacks. We want to be sure that these people are living a long and healthy life so that they can retire and then continue to live a long and healthy life. So if you're a wife or if you're the spouse of a first responder, I implore you to bring your spouse here and have them listen and let them know that we want all of you to live this long and healthy life with your family. It's so important. So every single day we take this step towards either improving our health or letting our health be dysregulated and on the verge of illness and disease. It's never too late. If you already have a diagnosis of illness or disease, it's never too late to reverse that. That's just my opinion, my God-given belief. And if you are somebody who is healthy, let's make sure you stay healthy. This is so important to me. It is my why. So when you have a daughter who's misdiagnosed with these at 20 years old, I started to fight so strongly for this to be sure. So she is off all of her medications. She only has trouble with her lungs at all, even just a little on the minor side when she's pregnant. And oh yeah, I just said she was misdiagnosed with infertility. She has a beautiful baby girl, 2.5 years old, and she's pregnant with her second. So infertility was a misdiagnosis, COPD, a misdiagnosis, because I believe that the root cause of illness and disease is toxicity and deficiency. And when you address those, your body can heal.
100%. I could not agree with you more. And, we've talked a little bit about, we refer to the Trinity a lot. And people probably don't know what the heck we're talking about. They're not
Sure.
familiar with the
Good
root
point.
So if we can dig in a little bit, the Trinity are a group of products, 3 products that really is the foundation. If you want to just dig in a little bit to those particular products and how they support the body.
I sure will. Okay, so just know that I could go on for days because what I will first say is that when you look at the ingredients, you might feel underwhelmed. And I say, I understand that. I was too. The website is a little, it's just like going shopping, but all of the case studies, the science, and all of the patient registries are all on a different website to keep those safe. So Dr. Ram is an ex-pharmaceutical scientist who knows that she had to keep those two things separate to keep the company safe. So when you're looking at that, please just let us know in the comments or reach out to Kimberly and we can get you the science behind it. But the Trinity is very complex in creation, but very easy to use. So let's start with the three names, which is Clean Slate, Restore, and Zero In. So what do these three do synergistically together? Because remember I said there's one whole organ system. Intracellular detoxification. So beyond the cell binding sites, beyond the cell membrane, intracellular detox, where all of those heavy metals are on the binding sites and all those toxins are within the cell. We have to get those out every single day. We have to clean our cells every single day so that they do not degrade and that they do not turn cancerous and that they are not communicated with, that healthy cells are not communicated with by negative cancer cells. And then we have to restore the gut microbiome because all health starts in the gut. So we will restore the gut microbiome, heal the gut junctures, lower inflammation. And I'm talking from beginning to end on the digestive system. So if you are dealing with reflux, GERD, taking any medications for all of that acid that's there, and then diarrhea and constipation, all of these, irritable bowel, Crohn's, all of these need to be addressed at once, restore the gut microbiome, support the immune system, and get that digestive system working right. And then, of course, brain function, cognitive function. We want to think clearly. We want to have energy. We want to have a good mood. And so all of these come together synergistically. And that's just the list off the top of my head. That doesn't even include all of the other things that these three simple products that are complex in creation can do for the body. But again, remember I said when I detoxed my daughter wrong, we created more issues, which is why we take the approach of not just detox, but also regeneration. It's actually the more important part, regenerating the body, strengthening the body, having the body be a good host so that when these invaders come in, it can ward them off.
Yes. I think that is the most important thing. And that was the clean slate you were talking about.
That's the whole Trinity.
That's
Clean slate, restore, and zero in. So clean slate for intracellular detoxification, restore, which is the little pouch, and that is for restoring the whole gut microbiome and supporting the immune system. And then zero in for cognitive function, clarity, energy, and mood.
And let me tell you, I can't tell you enough about the zero in and what it does for my life. So
yes, I will say it's the one thing that they sample anytime there's an event or in the office, or if you show up anywhere, there's always zero in on hand. And we're very encouraging when we say, number one, look at the ingredients. Don't take candy from a stranger. Let's look at the ingredients before we hand it out, but then take it. And then in 30 minutes, I start to watch people. I kind of set a timer and I start watching people with their mood and their clarity, and they find a smile that they didn't have, and you can tell they're a little more relaxed and they're engaged in the conversation because they're so focused in. And it is life-changing. I think every single nurse in the whole world should have zero in prior to their shift.
Oh, I 100% agree. And for networking events like the one we just attended, it is essential because if you're like me, I'm a little bit of an introvert, I am able to get out there and socialize with people, but it has an expiration and I do drain quite quite easily and need to be recharged. But I was good to go throughout that entire weekend. It definitely put a little pep in my step. I will say I was out there and I was engaging and having conversations, really great conversations with other people in the community. So I think it's important, specifically if you need to make those types of connections, you need to be aware and in the moment and absorbing all of this, then, I can't overstate what a difference it makes. I actually started taking, you were talking about the free samples, which I helped myself to a couple handfuls of those, maybe. And I started giving them out to people.
Yes.
I took them into my office and I was like, I need you to try these and then just let me know what you think. And
Yes.
I've had nothing but positive feedback.
Absolutely. I really think it's just one of those things. There's really very few people that don't need assistance with cognitive function, clarity. I would say that when you have people of our age bracket and you see all of these kids being diagnosed with ADHD and then you start reading about the symptoms, I would say that probably a good handful of your listeners, a good percentage, if I said, do you feel like you have ADHD? Now looking back and reading all the symptoms, so many hands would go up. And this is life-changing for students. My son, unfortunately, this didn't come around till right after he graduated, and he took one and he goes, where has this been all my life? Where was this when I was in middle school and high school? Where was this when I was playing baseball? Because he said for the athletic part of it, he would be able to tune in and he would have been able to just really focus in for pitching. But now he golfs with his friends, and apparently I am the zero in dealer of the Pittsburgh Golf
Love it.
League, which is fine. I don't mind because I just really appreciate that all of these young men are focused on their health and happy to be out golfing and improving their game and working towards goals. So, whether you are a student, a parent, if a parent of a student, an athlete, if your job is hard, if you're a stay-at-home mom, my heavens, it is hard to be a stay-at-home mom and keep up that pace of all of the things with all of the kids and the sports and the pickups and the dinners and the drive-throughs. And it's just life changing. So even if you don't think that you need help on your health, say you don't think, well, I don't need a detox. Understood. But I find it very hard to find anybody who doesn't think that they need help with energy, clarity, cognitive function, focus. We all do.
Oh, exactly. And so when I first got introduced to the root brands, it was really the Trinity was the focus for me. And I think that that's a great place for everybody to start is with the
Yes.
Trinity. But I'll tell you, there's so many other incredible products, and I just want to touch on a couple of them. Talk about Clean Spirit.
Ooh, okay. That's
I'm
actually one
excited.
of, that's actually one of my favorites.
Mhm.
So, okay, so I think what I would like to touch on while I'm touching on clean spirits is that when I say that this is not just another supplement, what I will tell you is that Dr. Ram actually has approved patents for these products.
Yes.
It is extremely hard to get patents approved. So this is not FDA approval. These are US patents. And if you look up, Google, what is the importance of a US patent? You're going to be blown away. So she has approved patents for the reversal of aging, for all of the different ingredients in all of these products. But one of the things that she has approved patent for is alcohol metabolism. And that's where clean spirits comes in. So clean spirits contains the same ingredients as clean slate with additional NAC and zinc. And these are quantum nutraceuticals. So Dr. Ram uses quantum frequency, polarization, magnetism. I don't know if you saw her email this week, but she just did a write-up on it and we put it in the group and I put it on my page actually, so people can read about it. But she uses certain frequencies. And so this goes in and helps the liver to clean out. And so a lot of times people will say to me, well, I don't drink alcohol. I understand that, but alcohol turns to sugar and sugar turns to non-alcoholic or fatty liver. So even with non-alcoholic fatty liver disease or maybe prescription medication or alcohol or certain drugs, we need to clean out the liver. And so this is not just a liver detox because like we said, there is no one organ cleanse. This is a intracellular detox that has an additional layer of liver focus. So we come in and we clean out that liver that is just congested with all of those toxins. It's the dishwasher of the body, and we need to make sure that we're addressing that. But I will say it's extremely powerful in this world of biggie size it, if a little works, more must be better. This does not ring true with these products. They are so effective in small doses. So this is back to the guidance, getting the support, the levels of support. How do I start, and being supported in that journey, which is why you want to connect in this community. But it is also helping to release negative emotions out of the body. So when you're detoxing, you can actually have an emotional detox as well. And I've done that. I've had a couple of them. And when you are detoxing, if you can realize it in that moment and embrace it, go for a run, go for a walk, sit in silence, pray, journal, turn the music really loud, whatever works for you to support that emotional detox, this will end up happening. And that's great. You want those negative emotions to flow out of you. Absolutely. And to be out of your body. You don't need the negativity in your body. And especially in this world that we live in today, imagine the support that you have when you can flush those negative emotions out and you have a positive outlook, you have a better mood, you can have a calm conversation where maybe before something would have sparked you you would have more of an emotional reaction. You get to start pulling that back and have a rational conversation. So these are things where if you have somebody that is in a detox, so there's, cellular detox, right? But then there's also detox from drugs and alcohol. If you have somebody in that situation, I would start with clean slate for 3 months. And then I would move over and I would start very slowly, because if you're going to metabolize that alcohol or drugs in the liver, if you are continuing to drink or take drugs, it could have a bigger effect than what you're used to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I actually have a couple more questions about the clean spirits, but we are up against a hard break. So when I come back, we will dig back into that.
Sure.
America Out Loud Talk Radio plays on the iHeartRadio network. You can also listen on our media player from any web browser, anywhere in the world. We have the best in-class apps available on Apple, Android, or Alexa, 24/7, great talk radio. All of our shows go to podcast the following day. You can hear them on apps such as Spotify, Stitcher, Pandora, iHeart Podcast, and many more. Be sure to subscribe and rate the show on Apple Podcasts for me. Don't forget to check out our online store at americaoutloud.shop, where you can find all of the products that we represent on our network at a discounted rate, including an incredible line of products from Chemical Free Body. Unlike the majority of supplements you'll find on the market today, with Chemical Free Body, you won't have to worry about harmful ingredients, binders, fillers, or flow agents. Their ultra-safe breakthrough nanosilver technology destroys pathogens, balances the microbiome, and boosts immunity. All of these products are proudly made in the USA and are backed by an unheard of double your money back guarantee. Use promo code OUTLOUD to save 20% off the Healthy Gut Bundle. I'll catch you on the other side of this break. Stay with us.
Tired of harsh chemical toothpaste that do more harm than good? Upgrade your oral health with Smile, the doctor-formulated toothpaste from the Wellness Company. Smile uses powerful peptides, remineralizers, and probiotics to rebuild gum tissue, strengthen enamel, and keep harmful bacteria away. It also leaves your mouth feeling fresh with a clean mint flavor. No fluoride, no toxins, just real science-backed results. Go to twc.health/OUTLOUD and use code OUTLOUD for 20% off your first order.
You wouldn't go a day without brushing your teeth or washing your hands. What about washing your nose? I mean, your nose does filter the air you breathe, air loaded with bacteria, viruses, and irritants. Make nasal hygiene part of your routine with Xlear. No messy bottles to fill, no drowning sensation. Xlear is a natural drug-free saline with the added benefit of xylitol, which blocks bacterial and viral adhesion. Available in stores and online at Xlear.com. That is XLEAR.com.
Struggling with your health, energy, and constantly feeling hungry? Want to save money on the rising cost of groceries and dramatically improve your health? Go to chemicalfreebody.com/OUTLOUD today. Get nature's super multivitamin, doctor-formulated Green 85 juice formula. Empower your immune system, cut your grocery bill, and save 20% on your first order.
Well, did you see Google quietly updated its AI principles, removing its pledge not to use AI for weapons or surveillance, a promise they agreed to in 2018. But American people have seen Google's track record, prompting the question, is Google an untrustworthy player in the AI race? Now is our time, my fellow Americans. AmericaOutloud.news. Liberty and justice for all.
Welcome back to Nurses Out Loud on America Out Loud Talk Radio. I'm your host, Nurse Kimberly Overton. Wherever you're listening from today and whatever you're doing, I thank you for giving me the gift of your time. Be sure to make AmericaOutloud.news your daily stop for all the latest news and happenings. We all must do our part and share the stories, the articles, the podcasts, and videos so we can help secure America's future. If you're just joining us, I've been talking with naturopathic practitioner and co-founder of the Detox Girls, Jill Rosencrance. Jill, thanks again for being here.
Thanks so much for having me.
Absolutely. So before we went to break, we were talking about the clean spirits. And I had a couple of other questions about that. So the clean spirits, you're saying start with the clean slate, and then after 3 months on the clean slate, so you swap out the clean spirit?
Yes.
Okay, so you don't take them both together.
Right. So, because Clean Spirits has Clean Slate in it as its foundation product, and then has some additional ingredients and then additional frequency, it's good to start out slow because, again, when we say, the world is so used to more is better, biggie size it, upsize it, these are so effective. We're almost not used to seeing something and thinking that one drop could have such an impact.
Right.
So when we start nice and slow and we have to clean the body first. So give it a clean slate. That's why that's why she names the products the way she does. So if we're going to give the body a clean slate, we want to wake the body up in a slow and steady way. So I always kind of give this analogy. If you were sleeping and it was 3 a.m. and you were in a deep REM sleep, would you rather be woken up by somebody that comes in, turns on all the lights, turns on all the music, starts screaming and shaking you and saying, get up, get up, get up? Or would you rather somebody come in, knock on the door gently, whisper, hey, I need you to wake up, turn on a little, side light, and a little night light. Hey, it's time to get up. We need to wake up because we don't want to disturb the nervous system. And I know you're in REM sleep. Well, obviously the latter half, right? That is the way we want to wake up the body and remind it that it is supposed to work in a certain way. So when we are waking up the body to detox, often people will say, oh, well, I took this or I took that and I herxed. Yeah. We try to avoid that only because number one, we want you to be in control of your detox journey. You know your body best. Your biochemistry is completely unique. And I don't know how one drop will impact you or another listener or my son or my husband. Everybody's biochemistry is unique and different. What you've been exposed to through toxins, how your detox pathways are open or not. So since we can't tell you, you are in control. It's kind of the opposite of medicine where it's one pill every 4 to 6 hours as needed for pain. Here's your prescription and your 9 refills. We'll see you in 4 months. We want you to be in control. Listen to your body. We've set that aside, and I see little kids running around and they have this intuitive nature. Let's keep that. We know if we wake up and we're cold or it's midday and the sun is out and we're hot, we know how to adjust what we're wearing. We have to remember that for adjusting what we're taking and putting into our body. So we start slow, we wake it up. So we wake up with clean slate. And then 2 or 3 months when you're like, okay, I'm underway, I'm staying consistent, I'm feeling good, I'm staying hydrated, then you can switch over to clean spirits. And we jump back to 1 drop twice a day, see how it goes, move up, move up, move up. You're in control.
Yeah. I think, and like I said, that we always start with the Trinity, but there's been so many of these newer formulations that she's come out with that have been absolutely amazing. I haven't had a chance to try them all, but I am literally working on getting my hands on these newer ones. Talk to me about the Zodid.
Yes. So the Zodid is actually it's detox backwards. So that's how it's spelled.
And can I just say before you continue on that I had
Yes.
no idea, and Clayton was telling this story at the event, that so the reason they had to name it Zoded is because detox is apparently, the word detox is apparently like banned in the
Yeah.
UK. Is that correct?
Yes. So Dr. Rom is approved in 90 countries. And when you are approved in 90 countries, you have to go through 90 different regulatory approvals. And so not only does she have to be approved here in the United States, but then to be regulated in any other country, they retest everything for that country. And then she has to follow all of the labeling, um, all of the guidelines and regulations for the health in those countries. That's why on some of the products you'll see things like magnesium, it is separated. So it's in the ingredients, but then it's also listed separated. And same with vitamin C, it's listed in the ingredients, but then it's also listed separately. And that all comes from this 90 countries of regulations. But zeolites, and so clean slate is not a zeolite. It's okay. So let's just approach that really quick, because zeolites are sort of a scary term these days because social media has made it scary. But Dr. Rom takes the raw ingredient of zeolite clinophenolate, but she has used her quantum frequency and polarization and cryofracking to break it apart and have bioavailable silica. And that's what you'll see on the label. Because she has broken apart the sodium aluminum silicate, it is bioavailable silica. But when you're talking about labeling in other countries, there are products and ingredients and names that they consider to be pharmaceutical. And so you have to be very careful with all of the regulations. So detox is one of those words. So she's like, well, people detox backwards anyway. And that's the whole premise of what I've been talking about, where regeneration is almost more important than detox. But people detox backwards, which is what I was doing with my daughter. I was killing off heavy metal detox, killing off parasites, killing off bacteria. And I forgot the most important part, which was regeneration and making her body strong. So that's where Zoded it comes into play. Now, Clean Spirits is part of the Zoded line, and its partner is called Zoded Powder. And it is vitamin C, calcium, garlic. It is very garlicky, and I actually use it on my food when I'm cooking. If I'm using garlic powder, I will use this instead. It's a great way to get it into the family without having to fight the fight.
Right.
Magnesium, and then a vitamin B complex, and then vitamin E. And what's really interesting is that the world has been talking about MTHFR, and my daughter had that. And I remember the first time that I saw it and I walked around saying, my daughter has MTHFR. Well, we all have MTHFR. It's a gene. We all have it, but your epigenetics dictates how it expresses. But vitamin B became a very popular vitamin because if you have MTHFR, they talk about folate processing and vitamin B12 and the need for it. So Dr. Rom said, you have all been requesting a vitamin B. So I did a natural form of vitamin B complex in this. I was very excited about that because there's too many synthetic B vitamins out there and people are not making the progress that they want to make. And then the other thing to note is that B vitamins are directly related to production and absorption in the gut. So if you have an MTHFR issue, you have a gut problem, that's why you have a B vitamin problem also.
Amazing. And okay, one more product. I know we're running out of time, but I really want to talk about this because it's a personal, passion of mine is
Yes.
coffee.
Oh, yes. I'm so glad you brought that up. Okay, so this one is really important because coffee is so laden of mold and toxins.
Yeah.
When you are buying coffee at your big warehouse store, if you're buying it already ground, oh, that's even worse. If you're buying it not ground, imagine the big vats that it sits in. And I am a coffee lover. I have to have my coffee every single day. I do not run on any kind of drive-through coffee, and I do not drive through any kind of coffee, but I make it at home. And so Dr. Rom's son is a coffee connoisseur. He asked her for a coffee. He wanted to open up a coffee shop, so she made him a coffee. So her coffee beans are Guatemalan, organic, fair trade, grown, single sourced, but then she washes it with a solution similar to Clean Slate. I'm sure there's differences. I don't know her patented processes, but she cleans the beans and then she seals the beans to seal in the vitamins and all of the nutrients. And because coffee is actually healthy for you. So the coffee is amazing. It is a 91 cup score, which is unheard of. It is a specialty coffee, whole bean. You can buy 1 bag or 3, put it on subscribe. You get 10% off. Kimberly has a $10 off coupon she can give to any of you. Make sure you get that in there. But one thing that I almost forgot to say was that these products, not only are they patented, which is very hard to get things approved for patents, but also HSA, FSA approved, which means you have to have the case studies proving that there are health benefits to your products. There are very few supplements that are HSA, FSA approved, and this is the only coffee that is HSA, FSA approved, which I think is fantastic. So as we wind down the last quarter of the year and you're looking at your HSA, FSA, it's something to think about.
And I will say, and that's absolutely amazing that they are actually proving the health benefits of coffee, which is not something you see every day. And also, I would like to add that it was absolutely amazing in the Ramtini, which was
Oh,
a root brand inspired cocktail at that event. They actually
yes.
they used the coffee in this kind of like a coffee espresso martini type of a drink, and it was delicious.
Yes, it was a craft cocktail that was very well made. I wish I had the name of the bartender that was like an artist when it came to this craft cocktail. And what I loved it is that they had the clean spirits drop sitting there. So I added it to mine because I have a little sensitivity to coconut, and they had a toasted coconut topping. And I, at first I hesitated and I thought, well, wait a minute, there's clean spirits there. So I put a couple of drops of clean spirit in my drink and I had no issues whatsoever. So that was really nice. And for those that do maybe want to indulge, you're going to a wedding or a party and New Year's Eve is coming up quicker than we can think, you can put clean spirits in your drink. And that helps to metabolize that alcohol faster out of your liver. And I'm not promoting getting trashed every weekend, but there is, something to be said for if you're going to have a couple of drinks. So many people drink wine and then have a headache after. So you can start to metabolize that alcohol through the liver and kind of prevent that. My daughter actually she's in that age group where they're all getting married. And so I think they had 8 weddings this year. And she took a bottle of Clean Slate to every wedding reception that she was at.
I'm telling you, it's absolutely amazing. I love these products. And I'm really going to be digging in because I know that she has the skincare now. There's a skincare line. I saw there's a facelift one on there. I've got to check that out because listen, I'm at that age now. I need a little help.
She has a peptide skincare line.
Yes.
So there's a cleanser, a serum, and a moisturizer, and it's peptides. And there's a lot of marketing around peptides right now. But I heard her speak in Miami. I was working an event there for them, and she was on stage talking about peptides. And what I didn't realize was that the type of peptides that you're using, they go into the body and they assimilate in the body. And if you don't have a high quality peptide, you're assimilating into the body unnatural or low quality information into the body. So you want to be very careful on that. So I was really excited when she came out with the skincare line. There's a pet line. There's a couture clothing line. One of the things that I think is very unique, in fact, I know it's very unique, Dr. Rom, when she was at Harvard, turned in her dissertation and she patented it before she turned it in, and it was for a biological skin suit. And what she did was she created this biological skin suit in case there was a radioactive event. And so now she has put out Environ skin wear to put on your clothing. So, all your Lululemons with your microplastics and forever chemicals that are on there, if you turn them inside out and spray this on your clothing, it can protect them. There's baby blankets with this spray embedded in them. This is my gift to every one of my daughter's friends that are having babies right now. And then there's Environ skinwear. And I'm not going to claim anything here, but I am just going to tell you something that happened, which is my granddaughter is in daycare and they are on their second round of hand, foot, and mouth. And she is the only one that has not gotten it in her class both times. And she is sprayed with the Environ Skin Wear every single morning. And then they spray the Environ Wear on her clothes. So every single morning she gets sprayed with it. And she's the only one, both times running, that has not gotten hand, foot, and mouth.
Interesting. And I will give a little
I
shout
can't
out to
claim
this.
that. Yeah, I can't claim that, but that is the outcome that we're having.
Right. And I'll give a little shout out to the spray because you had told me when I was telling you about that. I had broken out from the adhesive. I had that Holter monitor on recently and I had it really just ate up my skin. And you had said, hey, spray this Envirofem. It's a spray on there. Just put it on there. And I was like, okay. And I did. And I will tell you what, in like 2-3 days, and you saw what my skin looked like.
It was bright red.
Yeah, it was terrible. And in 2 or 3 days, I mean, it's practically gone now. So
Good,
thank you
good.
for that. So I will shout out to that. Whatever it's doing some things.
Absolutely. So there's a whole, there's all of these lines, there's different things on the website. It's incredible. And she really wants to grow the company to be the place you go to protect your health, to take back your health, to protect your loved ones, and just to make every single day in life enjoyable, because that's what we're here for.
Absolutely. And I'm telling you, there's a little bit of something for everybody.
There really is.
There truly is. It's like she's got everything down as far as from a health and wellness perspective. I don't think there's anything she hasn't thought of. And this has all been, how old is this company? It's not very old.
Q2 of 2020. They launched at a time where you don't normally open a business right as a pandemic is coming, but she did. Clayton did. Clayton opened up the company and she really wanted to keep the product safe, the ingredients, the quality, the formulations, and she actually just bought manufacturing so that she could ensure the quality from beginning to end. It's called vertical integration, and it was very important to her. She just wanted to be sure that she could trust the people that were doing everything, and so now she's doing it. So now she trusts herself. So Q2 of 2020, and so what I was saying at the beginning was they didn't get a marketing company. They decided that the products work, so they would give back to the community instead of giving to a marketing firm, with the thought that word of mouth means everything. If the products work, the company will succeed. If the products don't work, the company will fail. And here we are, 5.5 years later, and the company is thriving, growing every day. People are sharing, and that's the nice part. Every single customer is able to share and get some product credit just for loving your loved ones.
Yeah.
And if you have people that reach out to you, I'm more than happy to talk to anybody about how you can share and help your loved ones and then earn a little product credit and just, make the world a better place. Health, wealth, happiness, and helping humanity.
Absolutely. And I will say that, it's not multi-level marketing. It is
Right.
really, truly, like just social sharing.
Right.
I am not a salesy person. Everybody knows that about me. I'm just not good at it, nor do I want to do it. I tell people all the time, I am in service, not sales. That said, these products truly do speak for themselves. I use them for myself because they work. I recommend them to my clients because they work and I see the incredible results. And yes, we just by recommending and sharing that, Root has a very generous commission structure. And
Yes.
I don't even think about it. And I'll sometimes go look and I can't believe how much I have in there in commissions.
Right.
I don't really use them, but they're there, for if I need products or, whatever it is, you can cash that in,
Right. So there's a business side to it. And I bet any money that you have a lot of nurses and providers that listen to you. So I'll just briefly touch on that. I rarely start out with the business side, but because your audience probably does have a lot of nurses or providers, people that want to help, and everyday customers can do the same. But if you simply, just by sharing your own referral code, you can set up a free account. It's completely free. There's no financial obligation whatsoever, $0. You can set up a referral code for free. You can share for free and earn product credit. If you share with a couple of people and you like it and other people like it, you can actually become an ambassador to the company, which is what I did. And then again, that's free. And then the more you share, the more you earn. And so you can use it for product credit, or if you're an ambassador, you can take it out as commission. And in this economy, who doesn't need another stream of income? And quite honestly, I've been friends with you long enough, and so many of your nursing friends that I've talked to, and it breaks my heart to hear how you all walked away, because I walked away from my job too on a wing and a prayer. But everybody was walking away, and what were you doing? You were using your savings. You were using your 401k. And now we're in this position where, well, the world is starting to, normalize again, but hey, what about me? I need to help people. Well, nurses are always helping people. Providers are helping people. So why would you not want to be compensated for that? You need to put food on the table, keep the lights on. We all do.
Exactly. And we've got to get out of that scarcity mindset into a mindset of abundance. There definitely needs to be a transfer of wealth in this country. And, the more that good people have resources, the more good that they do. So I think it's really important to shift that mindset into a mindset of abundance so that we can do more good work out there.
Absolutely. If you don't need the money, give it all away.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And I happen to know a really great 501c3 nonprofit organization that would love it. So.
Yes. Right. So if, I do have people that will say to me, well, it's not about the money. I understand that. It's not about the money. We have a servant's heart.
Yes.
We really do. We have a servant's heart. It's never, like you said about being a salesperson. I always say that I would win the award for the world's worst salesperson. Right. But I would win a nice, decent prize for having a good heart. I just want to help people.
And that is all the time that we have for today, friends. But remember, we are here on the air 5 days a week, Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern with a different nurse host daily. You can also catch the encore at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Please be sure to tune in and listen to myself and these courageous nurses. As we walk you through all of these hot topics, we will empower you with information and education. We will advocate and we will stand in the gap for you because we are nurses and this is what we do. I'm your host, Nurse Kimberly Overton. You can find me here every Wednesday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern. Until next time, be safe, be well, and God bless. Remember, we are in a war for truth. We are putting out a bounty on the real misinformation and exposing the purveyors of propaganda. No topic is off limits as we shine our lights and expose the darkness.
It's time